All right, our next bout, amateur MMA. We continue here. Valor fights 27 at the International Events Ferrara alongside Casey Oxendine from Team Oxendine. This should be a lot of fun. Nick Baker, the veteran, the haymaker, against Sawyer by God Rich. Boy, we could see some all kinds of electricity in this one. This is going to be an absolute blast.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, these are two very widely known characters here in the Valor circuit. Of course, Sawyer, we saw him earlier this year make his return to mixed martial arts. He did it in a big way. He loves to talk. He loves to fight, throw down. He backs it up always. But, man, Nick Haymaker Baker, this guy is a maniac. He can knock out literally anybody if he connects. The only thing has been in the past, you got to watch out for his, his ground skills. It's not, they historically not been as good. But the word is that they've improved tremendously.
All right, let's go to the cage for our fighter introductions. Here is Cody Gwynn.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your amateur co-main event of the evening in the Valor Featherweight Division, brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell. They'll turn your wreck into a check. Be sure to look up Ogle, Elrod, and Burrell right here in Knoxville. Please welcome to the cage first, fighting out of the Hogs red corner, Nick Baker.
Nick Haymaker Baker, 6-16 with one no decision in his career. He's fighting out of the F5 MMA camp in Morristown, Tennessee, in this featherweight bout at 145 pounds. Nick Baker weighed in at 146.9. You mentioned it, Nick Baker, popular. And, boy, he is entertaining as well. Tell us a little bit about Nick Baker.
He always comes to throw, man. And like I said, it's very seldom you see him just simply shut down on the feet. He comes to bang, and typically when he runs into trouble, it's because he can't stop the takedown. He can't maybe get back up, or he does fall prey to a submission hold. But we have seen him improve tremendously over the years and over the last year. And, it just always a pleasure to watch, a lot of fun, and he never has any quit. And he fought just about everybody, and he's fought every kind of style. Of course, we saw him in the North American Grand Prix for Contender Promotions, the Valor and Contender Promotions North American Trials last year in kickboxing. And just always a pleasure to watch him fight, and I always enjoy him, his competition. Now, when he's teamed up against Sawyer Rich, that really opens up a whole other plethora of possibilities, because that dude is certainly a character.
Nick Baker started out his amateur MMA career at 0-5, then 1-2 straight, and then had a losing streak that extended for a while before he picked up 2 straight wins. Now he's lost 3 straight, and Nick Baker is a former Valor kickboxing champion. Last time out, lost to Doug Williams in MMA by unanimous decision at Apex 7. He is ranked the Valor number 6 featherweight right now, and boy, he'll take on all comers. I mean, you look at some of the names, Stephen New, and some really good names that he has taken on.
Yeah.
Now please welcome his opponent, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, Sawyer Rich.
So Sawyer, by God Rich, the opponent for Nick Haymaker Baker. Sawyer Rich at 5-1 out of the Upper Cumberland MMA camp in Cookeville, Tennessee. The 24-year-old taking on Nick Baker. What do you think about Sawyer matching up with Baker tonight?
Man, he's tremendous. Like I said, we didn't see much of him. He took a hiatus, and then we saw him again earlier this year when we came to Crossville. Had a dominating victory there. It looked fantastic, and I'm anxious to see him take another step up there against Nick Baker.
Look at the tail of the tape. Baker with the advantage, even at just 24 years old. The advantage in experience, a number of fights. The age is the same. Height, 2-inch advantage for Nick Baker. Weight very much the same. But Sawyer Rich also filled in a couple times when you guys have been out and done some commentary with us and talked some trash, which Sawyer's been known to do. He said he will put Nick Baker to sleep here tonight. And also the first time at 145 for Sawyer Rich.
Yeah, like I said, you mentioned Nick Baker's record. Don't worry about that record. that record doesn't mean anything. You know, as an amateur, again, you're here to get experience. Nick Baker actually did it the best of anybody. He went up there and fought every type of competition he could. He's experienced everything you possibly have. But, you know, he's also exposed weaknesses in his game. Sawyer Rich is going to look to hone in on those. And, you know, with a 5-1 record, it shows that, you know, less often than not, he comes out the victor.
And the last time we talked about the talking trash, last time Sawyer Rich was in the cages in Cookeville, and that was so emotional. They hated each other. He got the win over Billy Combs. He's won 3 straight coming in tonight at 5-1. Sawyer Rich is in the cage. Let's go back there for our official fighter introductions. Here's Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your amateur co-main event of the evening, and it will be in the featherweight division, brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Baril. When the action begins, your referee in charge of this bout is Josh Ward. Introducing first, fighting out of the Hogs red corner. He comes in tonight with a record 6 wins, 16 defeats, and 1 no contest. He weighed in 146 pounds, fighting at F5 MMA in Morristown, Tennessee, Nick Haymaker Baker! His opponent, fighting under the OEB blue corner. Here's the cage tonight with 5 wins with only 1 defeat. He weighed in 145 pounds, fighting out of Upper Cumberland MMA in Cookeville, Tennessee, Sawyer, by God, Rich!
Josh Ward, our referee in this featherweight bout at 145, our co-main event among the amateur MMA card. It's Nick Haymaker Baker in the black and red trunks, taking on Sawyer by God Rich in the black and white trunks.
What is going on here? Nick Baker closed the distance, looking for a takedown here. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's something that I'm sure Sawyer Rich is not expecting.
Yeah, but you know, Sawyer Rich now tying him up, using those, using the clinch work. Now we're back in the center.
Sawyer Rich made quick work of Billy Combs in their last bout.
I'll tell you what, man, Nick Baker really winging those punches here. Little shots from Sawyer Rich. Nick Baker really throwing hard.
Saw for a second there, Nick Baker with the leg trying to get the takedown.
Now I'm going to say this, Nick Baker needs to really be careful if he does get the takedown. Sawyer Rich has a great ground game. And here we go.
First takedown goes to Sawyer Rich. A minute gone by here in round number 1, already gone longer than that Billy Combs fight did for Sawyer Rich.
What's going on here? Mouthpiece.
All right. Josh Ward, quick work, didn't have to move him much at all.
Now remember watching Nick Baker here versus Buck Yates last time we were here at the International, and that was one heck of a battle.
Yeah. Sawyer Rich with the black fingernail paint. That's something you don't see every day from fighters. Won't impact him, of course, tonight.
And what a sleeve there with Sawyer Rich. Look at this, going after an armbar. It's Nick Baker locking up that armbar on Sawyer Rich. Rich doing what he needs to do here. He's stacking.
Got out.
What I would do if I were Baker is look to transition to triangle choke. Beautiful. He needs to grab the head of Sawyer Rich. Rich needs to raise up. I wouldn't play around in this position.
Seen a little more versatility from Nick Baker this
A
time.
little bit. Just couldn't quite finish the triangle. I mean, he's there.
Down to the final minute here in round number 1 in this featherweight amateur
Look at this, going
MMA
for the
bout.
armbar again, man. He is Nick Baker's submission crazy here tonight. Look at this. He might be locked up here. Sawyer Rich might be locked up here.
Sawyer Rich lifted Baker up, tried to slam him down to get out of it. That did not work.
But again, Rich, very, very refined. Look at that. Beautiful escape. Did exactly what it needed to fend off the submission, stay good and tight, and now he's back on top, controlling the round for sure.
And let's see if Rich can rained down a few key shots here at the end of the first round.
I'm anxious to know how Nick Baker's feeling. You know, he really pulled hard on those arm bars, on those triangle attempts. That can burn those legs up, man. Fill them full of lactic acid, make it very difficult. But look at this, he's dancing it off. I'm sure he's fine.
That's part of the entertainment from Nick Baker. Sawyer Rich, though, put his hands up at the end of that round, too. The crowd responded. He's got a great contingent of fans, it sounds like, here tonight. So you would give that first round?
I give it to Sawyer Rich. I mean, Baker was trying for those subs. I wouldn't have called him close one bit. A beautiful takedown here. Like I said, he never had Rich's arm extended. He never really locked down the triangle enough to put him in danger. Now, one thing going into the second round that Nick Baker's going to have over Sawyer Rich is, you know, Sawyer Rich had one fight in the last year. Nick Baker's had like, what, 30 or 40? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's really familiar with going the distance and being out there. Sawyer Rich, he finished his last guy pretty quickly.
Nick Baker fighting in July, that's like other people taking 2 years off.
Yeah.
For him.
Yeah.
It's only a couple months. So we're ready for round number 2 in this featherweight bout. 3 3-minute rounds at 155, and we're underway. Round number 2. They exchange like they did.
Big
early.
shot there with Baker, grazing. Another left hook.
Haymaker letting him go.
Oh, big shot! Big shot!
Rich. Can Rich hang on?
Rich seems to have recovered somewhat, but his eyes are somewhat glazed here.
Yep. Can Nick Baker take advantage of a stunned Sawyer Rich? Corner giving instructions to Nick Baker.
Wow, epic fight already here. And
Sawyer.
Down he goes, Sawyer Rich doing what he has to do to recover. Only time will tell how much damage was inflicted by Nick Baker here. Look for the guillotine from Nick Baker.
Down they go again.
And again, Baker continues to climb. Sawyer Rich seems to have composed himself here.
All of Nick Baker's wins.
Oh, here we go. Baker looking for an armbar here. Again, Baker looking to lock this thing down. Sawyer Rich defending well. Wow, he's pretty tight with this one. Pretty tight. If I were in Baker's corner, I would be saying reach in with the left arm, spin around, see if you can spin Sawyer Rich. But Rich, very, very tight. He knows how to defend the armbar. He steps over the leg. Beautiful work there.
Well done by Rich. And now trying to rain down some shots.
But, you know, Rich, he seems to still be, you know, off a step there. You know, that shot took its toll. It could have dropped his adrenaline, but doing what he has to do, man. What a warrior is Sawyer Rich and Nick Haymaker Baker, for that matter.
Rich covering up the mouth of Nick Baker as he's trying to slow that breathing of Nick Baker, who is in full guard on the bottom. Final minute of round number 2. Sawyer Rich going to be aggressive here. Doesn't want to get stood back up. Corner asking for Baker to try to push off. Sawyer Rich has kept his composure through all this.
Yeah, and it seems like he's starting to get his way, but here comes maybe the triangle. This is a very, oh, wait a minute, looking for the arm bar. I don't know, he might have just given up his back here.
Nice job by Baker to get out of that and not give up his back completely. Has to be frustrating for Baker that he had that kind of shot that put Rich down.
I don't know who I give this round to, because that was a very, very hard shot that dropped Sawyer Rich. He did complete the takedown, and he did grind out the rest of the round, but that was a hard definitive shot.
And he still was on the offensive.
He was on the offensive,
yeah.
but Baker did also tie up another armbar, which again was not close at all. So
right.
it's weird. Like I said, that's a much tougher one to call. I think I would give round 1 to Sawyer Rich. Round 2 can kind of go either way depending on what the judges in the corner think.
No, I agree with you. I think Baker showed more. Let's take a look at the
Here we
replay. Tell us
go.
what you see.
Big left hook followed up by the overhand.
sure if this is the shot that
I
put Rich
think it's
down.
coming right here. Big body shot, overhand right. That was a big, big shot and very definitive. And the judges are going to remember that.
Beautiful combination, too. Got the left to the body and then the overhand right. That's what you like to see. But yeah, I agree with you the way you have it scored 1-1 and 1.
It could be 1-1 or it could be 2-0 for Sawyer. You know, I mean, it just depends on how you see it. If I'm in Sawyer's corner, I'd be saying, man, we need to finish. You need to finish the fight, or you need to at least take this third round for sure. I wouldn't think that you just, you had it in round 2 because you never know.
How does Sawyer Rich look to you coming out of this corner?
I mean, I think he actually looks better in coming out in the third round than he did in the second. I think he sort of seemed to be flush. Oh, look at this. Haymaker throwing big shots. Sawyer Rich underneath. Looking for the lift, and down he goes.
Sawyer Rich, very impressive.
Yes.
That takedown. He's got 4 or 5 here in this fight already as we're almost 30 seconds through round number 3. Could be a 1-1 bout right now with the winner of this round maybe winning this thing. Amateur MMA co-main event. I'm Vince Ferrara along with Casey Oxendine here at Valor Fights 27 at the International in Knoxville. Sawyer Rich on top, Nick Baker on the bottom. Baker trying to stand up.
Yep. If I'm Nick Baker, I'm looking to go ahead and get near that cage, get up on that elbow like he just did, and work his way back up the cage. Make Sawyer Rich have to work hard to keep him down, because in this situation, Sawyer, he can coast it out and he'll probably take the fight.
Sawyer hasn't been able to land much in terms of the ground and pound and just raining down. Sawyer posturing up a little bit.
Looks like Baker looking for that triangle yet again. Sawyer Rich posturing well, avoiding the situation.
Little offense from the bottom by Baker. Why do you think Baker hasn't been able to finish off those submissions from the bottom? And there,
I'm not certain, but he's landing some leather there.
He almost was completely out there. Just couldn't
Here we
get to his
go.
feet.
Here we go. Baker trying to get up. Sawyer Rich driving him back down. Doing exactly what he wants to do here. Oh, here we go. Back to his feet.
Wow.
That's a big shot.
Big right, a second right. And now trying to rain down a kick. And will he let Rich get up?
And how definitive is this going to be? This is a hard fight to call here.
Big right from Baker. Another one, a left to right.
Big shots. Way to close out this fight.
We're under a minute left in round number 3. Nick Baker with that flurry.
And now who do you give it to? Who do you give it to?
It could be decided in these final 35 seconds. A knee from Baker caught this time, from Rich, and almost a takedown.
And Baker
didn't get
stays up. You better watch the ankle. Sawyer Rich looking for that leg lock possibly.
20 seconds left in this bout. Baker, a flurry here could win him this round and the fight.
Look at this. Baker looking for an arm triangle possibly.
I don't know if he has the time, Casey.
These two have delivered a tremendous fight.
Wow.
Who takes it? Who takes it? At anybody's guess right here.
Both fighters showing confidence, trying to get the crowd on their side.
Gosh, you got to say that Nick Baker, he delivered 2 very definitive moments in 2 of the rounds, 2 and 3. The big knockdown, of course, he ended up on top there at the end of the fight, which is really says a lot to the judges. But Sawyer did everything he could. He controlled the fight throughout. For the majority, he was in the positions he needed to be in.
Casey, take us to this replay.
Well, right here, I think that towards the end of the fight, Baker's coming on. He was able to finally get up off his back, and he lands some serious leather here.
Boy, Haymaker let his hands go.
I really seriously love this fight. A lot of people were saying it was going to be fight of the night. I tend to agree here. It was a tremendous bout. Props to both men. I think the world of both of them. Tremendous respect for both Sawyer Rich and Nick Haymaker Baker.
Yeah, very talented guys, both 24-year-olds. and taken different paths to get to this point. But, boy, they delivered here in Knoxville. And this is going to go to the judges' scorecards. Our judges here tonight at Valor Fights 27, Thomas Brooks, James Lyles, Steve Leach. Will it be Nick Baker picking up win number 7 in his amateur MMA career, or Sawyer Rich going to 6-1? Let's go to the cage. The judges' scorecards, our official decision. Here's Cody Gwynn.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to your judges' scorecard for decision. Judges score this bout: 29-28, red corner; 29-28, blue corner; and 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Sawyer by God Rich!
Wow. I'll tell you what, you know, you can't boo. You can't really boo it because it was so razor's edge close, and it was a split decision. You know,
Sawyer, let's talk to you real quick.
Here's Cody Gwynn with Sawyer Rich.
Sawyer, a great fight. He hit you with some good shots. You had some great takedowns. At the end of the fight, did you feel like you done enough to win?
You know, I really thought I won that fight pretty easy based on just takedowns, holding him down, hitting him with punches. Nick's a tough guy. You know, he caught me. I mean, that hurt like hell, man. That guy hits hard. Great fight. Hats off to Nick. It's awesome, man.
When he went for the armbar and had a couple things going on, was there any time you felt like you were in trouble of getting submitted?
I wasn't in trouble. The only time I felt like I was in trouble when I looked up and I saw him. I was like, oh my God. He just came up with a Lutheran shot. I was like, please don't hit me. I mean, whatever the guy gets hard, he's scary to do, dude.
A tough fight tonight, another big win. That's going to bring your record to 6-1. We got a title fight for you, and we're going to bring in your opponent right now. Doug Williams, going to be your next opponent. What's your thought about the title fight in November?
I mean, if he wants it, we can go get it.
All right, we're going to get a face-off right here. Where's our photographer? Hey, we're going to do a face-off right here between you two. Not the opponent we faced off with last time. We're just going to keep switching. Let's get a face-off right here. November 14th in Kingsport for the Valor featherweight title, Doug Williams and Sawyer Rich. All right, you guys are good. Sawyer Rich, ladies and gentlemen, with a big win here tonight.